celebrating 3 years of bringing you the very best in LGBT talk programming. This is QTalk America.
We got a whole bunch of new technology, and we actually managed to use it right. You're on QTalk America. I'm Jody Ganzik.
And I'm Babe Kaler.
And this is show number 117 as we celebrate 3 years.
3 whole years.
3 whole years. I actually can't believe it because I just think I've lost my mind. But I think most people tell me, you know, what's sort of like, what were you thinking when you started a media network? Okay. And of course I tell them it wasn't a media network when I started it. It was something quite a bit smaller.
Quite a bit.
You know, quite a bit smaller.
And we've grown.
We've grown by leaps and bounds. It's scary actually how much we've grown.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Studio,
we've got our live studio audience literally. Hopefully there'll be more than one. She's over there. Well, hopefully she's going to actually come in here and say hello on air, but you know, she's going to be our kind of in studio bartender. We haven't heard from the Clayton and whether he's going to show bomb us or not, or whether he actually made up I couldn't tell from Facebook if he had made the trip up to Flagstaff or not, or if he was going to. We want to shout out to everyone. We know it's a busy weekend here in our home state of hot Arizona, where it is 100 degrees at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Pacific Mountain Phoenix time, whatever the heck you want to call it. Anyways, we want to remind you that we are, of course, brought to you by people just like yourself. It couldn't have been possible without your support, whether that is just listening, watching, telling your friends, your fans, whatever. We couldn't have gotten here because, honestly, if we were just talking into these mics for the past 3 years, Babe and I and many other people on the network, and we didn't have any feedback, we had nothing going on, it would be, you know, it wouldn't necessarily be worth it.
Right.
But we love the fact that you're part of it and that you chose to be part of the QTalk America extended family.
Right. And we keep growing, and that's what's wonderful is looking at 3 years of celebration now of how far we've come. And knowing the possibilities that are out there. I'm excited. This is great, Joe. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Congratulations to all of us, you know, and we're really moving to where we want to move past the notion, and some people, because of course I started this myself, and it started from friends and family and all those kind of things. We're moving past the notion of, oh, well, it's Joe's little pet project, it's Joe's hobby. It's really far beyond that. And as we move forward in time, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, that it is way beyond me. And in fact, it shows because, you know, we're not the number one show. Clayton, in fact, is not the number one show anymore. Gay Love has actually surpassed the show with Clayton McKee.
Well,
and,
you know, and that's the thing about it is
things are always changing.
Things are always changing, and we spoke long ago. This is, you know, talk is the new text.
Talk is the new text. That's right.
And talk radio, talk TV, talk internet, podcast,
talk everything.
Everything is where it is. People are wanting that conversation. They want that. Be able to view as well as hear what's going on that's important to them.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's cheers.
Babe, I'm kind of thirsty, and so
okay.
I was going to say let's cheers here on air.
Cheers. 3 years.
To 3 years.
All right.
Of QTalk, originally QTalk Arizona. We're going to do a little Wayback Machine. I actually feel more prepared today as I take a sip here of this wonderful mojito provided by Dixie Flatline.
All right.
Who's sitting in Studio A. Where's my applause?
Okay. Get the applause. There we go. Wait.
There we go.
There we go for Dixie. All right.
Good mojito. We're kind of drinking. We've got some other drinks coming up later because we kind of missed. Because Cinco de Mayo was on a Sunday.
Right.
So I don't think we actually had anything that day.
And we weren't here that week anyway. That week we
were
weren't here. We were like off for something.
Doing something. Yep. We've been here and there. In fact, I had one of our listeners comment to us. They said, is there something wrong? Are you guys still posting on Stitcher Radio? Because we can't. The last show was like the middle of May. I'm like, yeah, I know. We're doing this monthly thing. Babe and I decided collectively that between all of our stuff in our personal lives and the fact that I'm moving and the fact that we were continuing to revamp large parts of the network and move things around internally, stuff that the listeners and viewers don't even have any idea about the logistics of things. We just said, you know what, we just got to take a break a little bit, and for me especially, because since I started podcasting, nearly 5 years ago, I had nearly been doing it weekly since then, with a couple of small breaks. And I said, you know what, I just got to bring it down. And we knew that there were changes coming up with some things. So Babe and I are here monthly through August, and then we will resume a weekly schedule in September. We'll have some more energy, and it'll be kind of like, back to school season kind of thing, which for me, since I work at ASU, it is back to school in September. And you'll actually notice if you're a raving fan of QTalk's shows, you'll also notice some of the other shows that I'm actually a part of are also on either hiatus or a limited schedule. It's been a kind of a collective decision. All the other shows are off and running, except for a few things. There's been some hiccups with Gay Love. Reverend Rick was injured recently in California, and so he's recovering. So we wish him a speedy recovery. But Dr. Lisa and her partner are going to be taking that show to the next sort of generation for the summer. And everyone else is doing stuff. But we'll talk about that, in a little bit. But overall, Babe.
Yes, dear.
How the heck are you in terms of you were talking about heat exhaustion, which is
gosh.
There is no fooling around in Arizona in the summer.
No. Okay.
And you've been here.
I've been here now 20 years this month, the end of this month.
And it's going to be, for me, next year this month, 30.
And I'm like, it hit so hard and so fast. It was unexpected, and you think you're hydrated and that you're doing okay. But I had, it wiped me out for a day and a half. I was just like beat. The headache started, and then the chills and the fever, chills, and then I'm hot and I'm sweating. And so people stay hydrated, stay out of it as much as you can. I know we live in Arizona, but I don't think we were expecting it so hard so fast.
No, and it did kind of get pretty warm. I mean, we had a nice spring, to be honest. It was actually, I was kind of like, oh dear, here comes the heat. But it was actually, it was in the 70s and it had its ups and downs. Well, we didn't really hit the triple digits. We didn't really hit the high 90s until I would say mid to late May. And but when it hits, it's just there.
Yeah.
There is no more. Yeah. There's not going to be a cold snap tomorrow of like 75.
Right.
That ain't going to happen in June.
It's really wild, and I'm feeling much better now. And thanks for asking. But it was a heck of a week for a lot of people. I did hear that, but
because you had said several times on Facebook, you're like, you're zapped,
yeah.
And you had the multiple warnings. People.
Okay.
Stay hydrated. This is Mama Babe calling.
Okay. It's like, yeah, you better drink. And Dixie hit her too the other day. She was not feeling well, and Victoria came home yesterday, and it had hit her. So, but one of the things, and they talk about you trying to find some
water. Yes, people.
some humor in the middle of everything. As I was riding around yesterday, because I went swimming with the kids. For their summer enrichment program, and I went and just popped in to make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to do with my babies, and I said to myself, "Wow, it's only 104." Only, and when you know it's bad, when you can say it's only 104 and say that with a like mind.
For people who are listening to this and don't live here, in the past 20 minutes. It's risen 2 degrees.
See?
So it's now 102.
Okay. And it will, we're going to be like this for the next few months. I envy our friends in Flag right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Happy Pride to Flagstaff and to Bisbee at the same time. We'll go over some of the other prides going on.
Yeah, but I'm feeling well, and thanks for asking. But just to all of our listeners out there, and take care of yourselves, your pets, and your family, because it's hot.
It is crazy, crazy hot. I have something that I'm going to put up. Speaking of cool weather and drinking.
Okay.
Because we have a someone who's on the network who, of course, has
Appreciates cool weather and
appreciates-
drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's
And
good.
just trying to see if it made it up there. Let's just take this and see if we can read it. Yes, Nathan Trainer, he's home as he checked in at Gay Wine Weekend in Sonoma. And of course in Sonoma, it's lovely this time of year.
Okay.
It's what it is, probably 75, if that.
Gay wine
Gay
weekend.
Wine Weekend.
Okay, how much gayer can you get? Okay,
It's an excuse
in
to drink
Sonoma.
wine. It's a little more perhaps of a, I was going to say a elevated sort of perhaps an elegant event. But
Yes.
I think it's really just all about the drinking.
That's really cool, though. You know, it's like to think that we talk about how things have progressed, how we have grown as a community, as a country. Things are happening, and to even that event to be going on.
Which is only a couple years old.
Yeah.
And so many wine organizations and winemakers, of course, it's fairly accepting in California, but they're getting huge support.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's just
fantastic.
amazing. You know?
I've said for several years I want to go to it now that I've got actually a position and I've got lots of potential vacation time and whatnot. I think finally next year, because I've said this for several years. I'm going to do traveling. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Really, what the challenge has been is getting this to a level where it can sort of take care of
Right.
itself, and then of course getting my own personal life and work life in order, and then I can truly say, you know what, yeah, I can actually get away and really relax, and I'm feeling much more comfortable as we turn 3, we enter our 4th year of operation here. That it's taken on a life of its own, and it's doing its thing.
Well, I just want to say, in looking around the studio and how much the growth we've had, my first on-air experience, with you.
Listeners, watchers at home, you can see actually the entire studio since we fixed the issue with the wide camera.
And we have a whole new screen as well that you can see.
That's
And
right.
did you see that? That was my Vanna-esque type mode. Did you see that? That
Yep.
was good. I learned well
They
from
can't see
Vanna.
the screen. We'll
Okay.
show them a little bit, and we're going to do a big technology kind of tour kind of thing on Technobabble coming up in about an hour or so from now.
All right, then.
But yeah, we've come a long way.
From your living room.
From my living room. We'll go into that in the little photo segment. But it really, for me, it's not just necessarily, okay, yeah, we're in a new studio. Actually, this is now getting to this point since we leased this we made that decision. Remember, it was you and I and Clayton stood in this room when it was nothing like
in
this
here. Right.
in August, and we made the decision, let's get it before someone else does.
Yeah.
And do it. We've now been here longer than we've been anywhere else.
Wow.
I think except for my apartment, but
Except
that was
yeah.
that was the starting place. But really, it for me, it's not necessarily about the physical space, even though it's great, it's wonderful, it's comfy, we have all this space and everything. For me, it is about the people involved.
Yeah.
And ever since Clayton, people think I have some fascination or I have some like love addiction or something to Clayton.
I do. I love him.
He's great. He is an awesome guy. I love him as a friend and for everything he has done for us. Because otherwise he's not really my type. But anyways, we'll just set that straight for everybody. He's a nice looking guy and he honestly likes the same kind of guys I do. But anyways, Clayton's done so much for us, and ever since we got him on the network, that he joined us, it's been, if you look at who else has come on board and what's happened, it showed that the community, aka, because Clayton is sort of the voice in a sense of the community because he's everywhere, he's voicing all these events, he's at Charlie's, it is at Apollo's, he's at all the Pride events, that people said, Clayton's doing this, wow, okay, so it's not just Joe's thing anymore. Clayton said, this is stable enough and pretty cool that he will lend his name to it. And then other people have said, we're going to lend our names to it. And then we have people like Ophelia Buns. We have people like Ernesto and Jean and other good members, pretty amazing members of the community who have now said, all right, let's be involved with QTalk. And we've got more on that kind of stuff coming up. But something else that happened recently, and again, this is something of, there's that movie, I think it's called, or the video called The Secret.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about things like, good energies and sort of the laws of attraction. And it shows that it's not only laws of attraction and good energy, but sometimes it does take the journey and it does take time. Although sometimes I personally, I'll raise my hand and I'll say,
I saw that.
I hate the journey because I just want it to be done.
Okay.
I just want to be successful. I mean, not to be successful for successful sake. I just want this to be done, and I wanted this to be done like 2 years ago. But without going through the journey, without going through all the things that we've gone through, we couldn't have made it until we were here today. And the goal that we set about when we changed the name to QTalk America was that we were going to have many voices, one network, and that we were going to be locally focused but nationally connected, which means that we were going to try to bring out the voices of all these LGBT people and our allies and friends across the country, probably eventually around the globe, since we have listeners and viewers from around the globe. Hello, and in all of the different languages, because I don't know the word hello in all the different languages.
I was going to say
bonjour,
yes. Yeah, I was
and
going to say speak another
hola,
language.
and all those things.
Okay.
And I'm just not going to push it any further than that because I'll start offending somebody. And people, thank you for being a part of us. But it shows that as we have progressed in that manner, we've picked up other people who've also said, wow, these guys have been around for a while. They're doing X, Y, Z. And we picked up people like Randall White, who, of course, we had that interview a month ago. Because of our lightning fast progression with technology, it didn't record. So we had issues there. But we might speak to Randall today. But what I wanted to show real quick was we have a promo for something that's coming up. And this was never going to be possible before recently. This was never going to be possible.
Right.
And this shows you, and this is truly what, if you want to know something that just makes me smile and just makes me like, wow, this is amazing. This is something that really makes me proud to have done QTalk America.
Are you as excited and maybe even nervous as we are about the upcoming decisions that will be handed down by the Supreme Court of the United States later this month? Hello, everyone. I'm Randall White, host of Equality Radio here on QTalk America, in anticipation of what will surely be a historic day. The staff here at Equality Radio is hard at work putting together expert guests, background information, and legal analysis for a solid day of live coverage. We are greatly expanding our show that day to fit the occasion, and we want to be sure you have a forum to express your thoughts as history unfolds around us. There may be no other day more important in LGBT history than what's about to happen. Equality Radio on QTalk America will be here for you on that day.
Yay.
Is that just phenomenal?
That I just got
Is that just fantastic?
I just got chilly bumps all over me
know?
because it's like we will be a part of history.
And we want to thank Randall White, who's been a broadcaster and an LGBT. Well, he hasn't been an LGBT he is gay, yes, so he's obviously a gay broadcaster. But most of his career was obviously just in broadcasting and journalism. And he started his own network, Eat, Drink, Explore, out of San Luis Obispo.
Right.
And then he always wanted to have a show that was along the LGBT front and could talk about all these kind of things. And so he launched it with us as his distribution partner. And when he brought this idea to me, and then it really hit me once I saw the promo, and we had the little audio glitches in there, but that was on his end, and he apologizes for that. But it really struck me. I said, wow, it's June. Like, this is when, because it was just March. It was like the day, I think.
Right.
Actually, it was the day of our grand opening that it was the vigil, remember?
Right.
And so the Supreme Court is going to be handing down their decision, whatever it may be, on both of those cases, Prop 8 and DOMA, before the end of the month. Some people have told me that it's going to be either on a Monday or it'll be the last Monday. You have all these political analysis people. And we also want to mention also for people who are fans of the agenda, we're not replacing the agenda. The agenda is with Kathy Young and Bill Farmer and Rebecca Winninger. Rebecca, who fabulously donated our brand new TV.
Wow.
Somehow I'm on delay, and I think it's recording just fine, but I'm watching myself and it's on delay somehow.
I just saw that as well.
It's weird, but again, we're assuming everything's real time in the feed. So if you're not seeing it for real, please let us know.
No text to say anything screwed. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always a good thing, because someone would tell us if something is wrong.
Right.
So anyways, it had really hit me that all this was going to be happening, and that we're going to be part of this, basically.
I know.
And the fact that he's going to do an entire day of coverage, that there really is no other. There's the gay magazines out there, of course, and all the websites, which most people get their information that way. They don't necessarily tune into anything. This format and the internet media format is still up and coming these days. But anyways, we're going to basically on that day be sort of the CNN of the gay world, with Equality Radio, produced by Randall White and Eat, Drink, Explore Media in partnership with QTalk America. And that sort of cements this new thing where we're actually reaching out now to other locations, because now we've got people who they happen to build their own place and do their own thing, and now they've linked up with us.
Right. And people contacting us to say
we want to do this.
Yeah, we want to be a part of what you're doing.
Fantastic. I was finishing my thought, because I tend to get off track, that the agenda here, who really, even though it's not officially sponsored by their organizations, which is HRC and Equality Arizona, they're both part of those organizations, Kathy and Rebecca, and they'll be doing additional follow-up commentary that week. And they have a great show, so if you don't tune into them, they're Wednesdays at 7:30. But and Randall White's is actually also our first weekday, 5 days a week show from 3 to 4 p.m. And that's also a first. We've never had that before.
Right.
It's
fantastic. My mantra has been that we just like, Weezy and George.
Moving on.
We moving on.
Where's that theme song?
Okay, and we've been doing. We need to do that. Just a little clip of that, because we have the growth has just been amazing. And talking about how we got here and what we did. It's you've done great things. The community is, I think, not only locally but statewide, and we're looking at nationally now, is continuing to grow.
That's right.
It really is.
People tend to find us, and they look at everything that has been built, and I purposely set sort of a tone for how we started this whole thing, because I didn't just want to create something that was already created. Mm-hmm. So I have like a seed in my mouth. Anyways, that was terrible. Anyways, I didn't want to create something that was already done. There were plenty of podcasts and gay shows that covered all the celebrities and all the divas and everything, like our friends Mark and Fausto at the Feast of Fun, who can also be heard on QTalk America.
Out of Chicago.
Out of Chicago, that's right. So we have coast-to-coast coverage, whether it's affiliated programs, syndicated, produced by, whatever it is, we've got all of this coverage.
I have to throw this in
there.
No,
please, go ahead.
For the fact of
I'll monopolize the conversation.
Okay,
you know
coming
that.
from the Midwest, and the whole idea of how much we've grown, and to say, with both Clayton and I having that radio background.
That's right.
And to be able to use my degree. Okay. I love it, because
we pay you so much. You get paid in drinks.
Okay, exactly. Cocktails it is, but that's okay. But it's the fact of truly being able to say that you're doing something that you enjoy, that you love, and for me, it to be a
you
whole
stole
part.
my Joe's Corner quote.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
But seriously, being able to immerse yourself in something that you actually, are still paying off student loans for, and being able to say that I'm using it.
That's right.
Yeah. So I appreciate that.
It's true. It's really true. We're gonna just sort of skip around, just because I heard you say that, and I was like, oh, that's my little thing. My quote, my bit of Joe,
Okay, come on.
Joe's Corner, is do what you love and love what you do.
That's it. That's it.
And with that, we're done. Yeah, right. No.
Okay, right. Right.
It really is. You have to do what you really want to do, and sometimes you don't know those things for a while, or they're hidden, and depending on how you were brought up, that it can come out later on.
Right.
You know, if it wasn't, perhaps if your parents didn't encourage things that were there, and they encouraged something else in their own interest, then what you truly are meant to do doesn't come out till later.
Right.
And for me, it's been sort of a late. I've been sort of a late bloomer
I was going to say a late bloomer.
a late bloomer in terms of, okay, this is really this media stuff and all this creative work and all that. This is really where I was supposed to be, and I've worked damn hard to work to get here.
Right. And you've been doing it for a bit.
A
doing
bit.
you.
That's right.
But you have finally got to the point that you're doing you for you and not for everybody else or what they think
That's right.
you should be doing.
That's right.
So that's the part that's really good. Actually, you say that and it makes me think about earlier this week there was this posting of a picture of you and a few of your friends, longtime friends from way back in
Must have
Void
been
and
way back.
Horizon
Really?
days. You don't remember that earlier
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
week?
yeah.
Yes, and I was
Earlier
like,
this week feels like last year.
and I was like, look at you guys and how much
That's
you've
right.
grown.
That's right.
You know, so it's things like that that I see that I think are just truly amazing because everyone's doing them and doing themselves well. And I'm going to say that as we head into right at about the halfway point of the Joe and Babe Show
That's
today
right.
on QTalk America.
That's right.
And thank all our sponsors, our listeners, our friends that have been joining us, our studio.
Live studio
live
audience. Couldn't have done that a year ago.
Right.
Well, we could have. It was just a much more compact setting.
Situation. Right. It really was. But, you know, we're continuing to engage our community and going strong, and we're really excited
And
about
we're
that.
thankful, you know, a couple things that I wanted to sort of read off as thank yous, because I think it's important that now we have, not that we, you know, the audience grows and the engagement grows now. And so people additionally discovering us, we want to say thank you to all the people who are helping to make all this possible. We kind of threw down the gauntlet, so to speak, for sponsorship and advertising on the network for the various shows, and our hosts have actually been responding and working that angle.
Right.
But Neighborhood Friends is sort of taking the lead on that because they've got Apollo's set up. These are all local bars. If you don't know, if you're not here locally in Phoenix. Where did that line go? Gee whiz. Apollo's Zone and Newtown. Thank you for your sponsorship of their show, but thank you for your sponsorship and engagement with QTalk. Apollo's now doing a Monday night viewing party for Neighborhood Friends
I think
from
that's
7 to
wonderful.
9. And we set up, because we put in all the different things, I sort of trained everyone on, okay, this is the limit of what we can actually do, because they wanted to have live correspondence there and like live video, which is possible, but it's a little wonky because of the delay on our video stream. So the audience would see something like a minute later after the person said something. So they're going to just do it in the chat room. But I believe that there's kind of like word games, drinking kind of things. Well, obviously there's drinking going on at Apollo's. Duh. It's a bar. But anyways, it's a great little bar up at up on 7th Street, just
7th
north,
Street,
just south of Bethany.
Bethany.
Been around for
and-
a long time. And has been well taken care of over the years, and that the current owners have brought it up over the past couple of years as well. So they're doing that. We've got Ion, who just did a wonderful
right
spread
up
on the show. I want to throw that up on the screen as well.
right of the show.
Yeah,
with Clayton
of the
McKee.
show, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing that we're talking about. Look at what has happened, even the community building. And, who would have thought that we would have a viewing party going on at one of the local clubs of one of the broadcast shows.
That's
Who
right.
would have thought of that?
That's right.
That was going to be something that could happen. And again, with that's because Ophelia is just strong. Okay, and saying that, I want to give her a shout out, as she is basically hosting the Complete Pride event up there at Flagstaff
Pride
this weekend, right? But look at Clayton. Look at him looking cute. Okay.
Their line, of course, see you next Tuesday, and if you use the right letter combinations, you will find out what that means.
Means right. Clayton and Marnie and Katie June.
That's right.
And Altie Perkins. Look at them.
Fantastic story. The whole shooting shebang there on in Ion AZ. So wonderful. We thank them absolutely for doing that.
Go back one more time, because Clayton looked like he had definitely been to the tanning bed that day.
You've seen him on Facebook.
Okay, right.
He's getting ready for San Diego Pride.
San Diego, look at him. Looking good. Okay, looking good. All right.
Clayton McKee, the show with Clayton McKee. Tuesday nights, 7 to 10 Pacific, Arizona time.
And
10
it
Eastern.
is one of the few shows, or the show that we actually do a not safe for work disclaimer.
Yeah, in the middle of it. Well, they have I think it's less now. I don't even know if they picked the drink. They've been going for so long. I don't even know if they're doing the drinking word thing anymore.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are.
They
Okay.
are, yeah.
I don't listen every week as I used to, but but you
have.
should.
Yeah.
But you, as the listening viewer,
You should.
Wow, that's good. The listening viewer.
And you had
That's a new one. I
Wait,
haven't even
you
drank
even
that
had
much.
as much.
But remember,
as
I'm a
I
lightweight.
have.
Yeah.
Okay, we do know that. Okay, all right.
Actually, I can drink more because I have to do Technobabble after this.
Ooh.
I'll just keep drinking right through the
Right
tech
through
show.
the
That's
end.
going to be fun.
Oh, that'll be
Oh
good
my!
for you today.
Stay tuned
See?
for Tipsy Technology.
That's great. Okay, talking about technology, let's go into your move and what's going on.
So-
and technology and plugging in the car and stuff. Tell me, what's doing?
I am done with downtown.
Okay.
Before, just to prevent myself from going into a rant, I think that downtown living is great, but in Phoenix, when it's super hot outside and you really can't do a whole lot until the sun kind of goes down in the summertime, it's not fun. It's just not fun. And I think Phoenix is an evolution. I think Phoenix is a great city and it's a great metro area, but it is an evolution of someone plunked down their roots here 100 years ago and said, why don't we do something in Phoenix? And of course, everyone else moved here. And to make a super long story short, the heat island effect and global warming and all that, it is warmer here now than it was 20, 30 years ago,
Right.
even 40, 50 years ago. I also am not a fan of commuting, even if it's by train or bus where you can do stuff. I mean, I tend to be on my phone or my iPad, when I'm commuting and doing stuff. But at the end of the day, I would rather just have the ability to get that time back in general. So I've also been spoiled over the past couple of years that I've been very, very close to where I work. And so forth. I'm making that happen again. But since the institution that I work for charges a very large sum of money for parking, I had to find a place that was close by. And that was in an apartment complex. And I was actually wanting to rent a house because I thought that would be good. I could get my own little charger for the car. It would be a little less money to charge and so forth. But not a lot of great rental housing options in Tempe that are even semi-nice that I could find. But
Right.
So anyways, moving up to an apartment, I'm moving up to a little bit larger apartment. I can kind of spread out a little bit more. And it'll be in Tempe, and it will be wonderful. But for the first few months, because there are no charging stations there, unlike the complex that I'm in now, where I actually got them to put them in, I will have to make a separate trip to charge. But since I don't commute, since I don't do all those things, I only charge about twice a week. So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to try and work it into my exercise routine because there's a charging station at Monty's, which is right by Tempe Town Lake, and I can be like, all right, let me go charge the car for 2 hours and go
walk the lake
go
for a
walk
little-
for the lake or go
yeah.
jogging or something. So I think I'm going to work it into the exercise routine and try it that way.
And don't they have like boat rentals and stuff?
They got
down
all
at
kinds of
Tempe
stuff
Lake
down there. I
where
mean, they
you
got
can
all.
do-
I was always going to Tempe Town Lake anyway, so I'm like, why don't I just move to Tempe?
Okay.
And of course, the other factor was they were going to be raising the rent an exorbitant amount of money, at the current complex that I'm at. So I just don't think a one-bedroom apartment is worth $1,000 a month for 600 square feet. And you can
say that again. Say that again.
$1,000 a month for a 600 square foot one-bedroom apartment.
Okay, that's
I don't
what I
care
thought
where
you
it
said.
is. That's approaching. It's not really approaching New York City prices because New York City prices are far higher than that. But still,
yeah.
it's too much, and I'm moving on. I've been in downtown. I've done the downtown thing for 5 years, and it's been great. And it's time to move on to the suburbs.
Right.
It's still the city, but it's the
still
suburbs.
the city, but it's like a little bit.
It's a little bit.
away.
There's the lake. There's
Yeah.
the greenery. There's
Yep.
So
And all the pretty people on the college campus. Go ahead and say it.
yeah, there are some
Okay,
really
I have
amazing
noticed some
people.
of the posts that have been coming through.
I have made them very
Obvious,
limited. Yes.
But yeah, obvious is to Well, speaking of that takes me to a point of something I sent you earlier this week that I thought was just amazing, and talking about people being pretty and things that they do when they're pretty and it's hot and you're sweaty and you see nice bodies and stuff. And I sent you a link to.
Yes. So why don't we put that up? Why don't you talk about it? I'm going to put it up, and
Okay.
we're going to do this team
Because
coordinated
you
thing
know, and
because
the thing
we
of
can.
it is because we can now.
Because we can now.
Okay,
Yeah,
we are
I am.
equipped to do this.
This is what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it took a long time to get here with trying to spend the least amount of money to make this work.
Right. And
this comes to us from Queerty.
Queerty, yep. And basically it's talking about the top 10 condom pigs, okay? You know, I'd have to have something thrown in there to sort of say. And the thing of it is if you think about it, that we know that this is something, we talk about being safe during sex, having smart sex, being protected, do whatever you do, be sure you wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
And Queerty did this sort of like, not really a survey, but talking to people about what they thought were the top 10. And so in
Are we going to go through all of them?
No, we aren't going to go through all of them, but I just
Never even
wanted
heard
to
of this
go with
brand.
this crown. I hadn't either, and I was like, okay, that's something that maybe we need to get because I've never heard of it. Lightly lubricated, okay, and latex.
Close to nothing at all. That's always nice.
Okay, but why did they say latex male condom? Okay, it's a condom. We know where
We know where it goes.
Right.
Right.
So why was that? That caught me.
They felt that they had to be very, very,
that caught me. Okay, but this is supposedly made for those who truly, truly hate the whole idea of putting one on, that it is almost like wearing nothing.
But the question is, of course, is it still safe? Because, of course, the thinner you make anything, the more
likely
apt it is
that it can
to
break,
tear,
or tear or whatever.
And obviously that's what the whole idea of condoms is about, is to be safe.
I would say that most of them on this one said that there were 5 stars or more.
Okay.
Yeah, on the rating. So that was the one.
I think I need to maybe try some.
Yeah, go to like number 5, because
Let's
that
try
was I think it was 3 or 5 that I was like, what is this? Okay.
Oh, look, it's generic
Look at that.
picture. But wait, but what the heck is that?
It's a condom.
Okay.
The Inspiril. Okay.
When people talk about buying condoms, it's
Okay,
usually
but
about
doesn't
finding.
that
We're not
look-
going to read the whole thing.
Okay, but doesn't that look sort of weird?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, would you wear it?
I don't know.
Okay. Because it's really appealing there, I guess you're saying, to barebackers, who, if you're barebacking anyway, we know that that's not a thought that I don't take to.
Right. Well, right.
But
people are going to do what they're going to do, but we recommend.
Yeah. Again, area that it's supposed to be as thin as possible, and you not know that it's there. So at least be.
Well, I think at the end of the day, I think it's smart for condom manufacturers to, because so many people do. I think in a sense, society, in a sense, is sort of tired of being told, you got to do this, you got to do this. So if you can create a product that's going to give you that near experience to being bareback, but yet, you're protected.
Right.
That's great. And obviously, again, talking about technology and modernization of things, then let's do it. Let's make that happen.
Go to about number 8. I think that was, but I
Babe
just
has
thought
these
it was
bookmarked,
Yes,
apparently.
I just thought it was really interesting. The fact, look at
It's
that.
this spaceship
It's
condom.
it's tantric.
Okay, yeah, I
It's
get that.
tantric. Okay, it's going to take you in that whole pleasurable
Whole
mode.
new
and,
direction.
yeah. Okay.
Looks like the space shuttle. kind of
Isn't that
like
weird? Isn't that weird? I mean, it's
one of
got the
those,
whole little
solid
etchings in
rocket-
it
yeah.
and the yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, check that out on Qwerty.com because it's supposedly the top 10 condoms out there, and I figured, all the girls and boys need to be as safe as possible.
That's right.
And know what's going on, but that freaked me the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a tantric.
Can I do the worst segue ever?
Go ahead.
Okay. So speaking of sex and taboo topics and things like that, guess who just launched a new show?
Okay, whom may I ask?
Give it a second to load. Ace London.
Ace. Okay. Okay.
Speaking of taboo, where no topic
my
is taboo.
gosh, I love it.
The
I
Empty
love it.
Closet series, which is the same title as his book, apparently. And this is talking about all of his stuff. So it's Ace London and Sean Chandler there. And they are, I forget what time they're on the network, but you can always grab their podcast version
And
as well.
they're traveling right now too, aren't they? Isn't he traveling?
I think so. You never know. You never know what's going on with Ace London. Ace
know.
London again represents the many voices on QTalk, and Ace is, of course, he is an older gentleman, and he's a great guy. He's done so many things in his life, but it's great to have the voices from young to the older generation, and from Middle America to the East to the West to
Right.
everywhere. So.
Right.
Let me turn off this and go back to us so that you don't get to read the show notes and you don't know what's coming up next.
All right.
Let's see here. Oh, you know what let's do now is let's do do you like Wayback Machines?
Go for it.
Why don't we do the Wayback Machine?
Okay.
We
like
thought
way
it would
back
be
Thursdays on Facebook. I love that now. It's like
I know, right? Like
I
where did
know.
that come from?
I know. I
Like,
love it.
It
though.
just cracks me up. So let's look at some photos. We're gonna do this in a very random style because I didn't have time to put together a whole presentation. So we're just gonna do this like Mystery Science Theater 3000 style, and we're gonna put on some nice light music in the background.
Okay, let's see.
QTalk America started on June 18th, 2010, in a small bedroom. No, we're not gonna do that. But anyways. Where is the original? That wasn't it. This is going to be awful. Anyhow.
Go for it.
We can just find the right one. No, that was this. You see, the problem was none of these were in any order. Oh, there we go.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
There we
Actually,
go.
you can see us. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, I
this
had
is
a
some.
different bag of
You had a
hair.
different bag of hair. Mhm.
Yeah.
So this was the original. This was the apartment. Actually, this is still my apartment. I still have that table. It's still in the same place
Right.
for the next
For
month.
right now.
And that was the original place that we started 3 years ago. And then we moved into places like this with Jimmy Grunder
Oh, wow.
and Luis.
Isn't that something?
Luis covering Jimmy Grunder because we never know what Jimmy is going to say next.
Right, and Jimmy's in the Midwest right now. I actually might run
Is he
into
in the
him.
Midwest?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's in Missouri. I might see him in the next week on my trip.
That was the old place. Oh, and here's another photo of Donna Rossi. Actually, this is good. It's actually putting them
Yeah.
up, Donna Rossi and us.
I like that one.
Again, from the shared office with Dr. Dina.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Actually, this is good. It goes back to the mirroring, and then it actually allows me to take these. And some people, some faces who've joined the network and left the network. Libby Miller here on the right, who was a part of Cheers for a while. Drinking, of course, because they're all about the wine. And
Right.
Michelle Hornstein on the left, who joined us last year on Cheers, Eat, Drink, and Be Fabulous. And you can see the wine bottles there. And she's still part of the show. Claudine Wessel actually has left the network, but we wish her well on the different things going on. And the family as it existed at the end of 2011.
Right, that was our holiday.
That was the
party.
holiday party.
Right.
And, well, actually, there was a few more members of the family who weren't there. But anyways, so anyhow, there was that. And let's see, talking about technology. Back when we used a myriad of different devices and our
wow.
tiny little board, this was on the desk at the previous studio at about 24th Street. Oh, here it is. here's the third generation studio when we were crammed into a room like half the size of this room.
Isn't that something?
And some other people, of course, Lynn Ames.
I love her. I love.
You and I just have the weirdest expressions, but she looks good.
I know. I love the energy that you get from Lynn.
She's great.
You know, she's just great.
She is.
She has a new book coming out. Actually,
we should interview
her latest copy just arrived. I think she said on her front door a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Longtime friend of mine, Brad McComb, and I host Techno Babble every not every single Saturday, but most Saturdays, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, and that was in the old studio again. And a couple other things I wanted to just jump through here. Last year at Phoenix Pride.
The year that we baked.
The year when it was 106 at the end of April.
All right. I was like chocolate chip Cocoa Crispy Black by the end of last summer. Okay. It was just bad. That's what I'm saying inside this year. Okay.
And
I was.
One
it
of
was
our
bad.
One of our more infamous interviews, when his husband bitched me out for going 2 minutes longer than the interview was scheduled for. George Takei, a great interview.
He did. He called you out on that.
2
minutes.
Mm-hmm,
And
2
he
minutes.
was 2 minutes.
He
was not happy. Okay.
He was not happy.
Like, wait, cut it off.
Cut it out.
I know. And that one of Al T. Perkins, can you pull that one up?
Oh, where is it?
It's right in the middle right there, just because I love him. Look at him right there.
Oh, the show with Clayton McKee. This was actually, if you look on the right, that was when Buddy Early was a part of the show before Katie June. So that was a number of months ago.
I know.
And that's, of course, they were the first show to actually use the new studio here at the state-of-the-art now we can say studios, because, of course, we have the Studio A. And speaking of construction and so forth, so here was Studio A before it was finished.
Right.
And now if we go back to where, if I can find this, come on, give me something. Oh, I just can't figure anything out. There it is.
There it is. I spotted it as you did.
I know. It's
right.
Like, this is not as cool as, this is not as fluid as I hope this would be. But yeah, so now we can have people that was at the grand opening party just about 2 months ago or so. Almost 3 months ago, actually.
I saw us in Christmas gear too. Where's our Christmas holiday?
That was us.
That was us.
Boom.
Look at that.
Joe and Babe, end of 2011. It was the night before
QTalk. Right. Okay.
What kind of ridiculous ideas have we
wait, and that was another bag of hair if no one noticed but me. Okay, that was another bag of hair.
And probably here's another one.
Let me see. Probably. Yep, see? You know, it's all about the hair.
It is. It truly is all about the hair.
Yours has changed too a few times.
Mine has changed up. Here's from a couple months ago with the porn stars.
Are you wanting the strawberry drink now, Joe?
Yeah, why not? Bring it over.
Okay.
Yes, I'll have both.
Oh, that was at Pride, right?
No, that was here. That was in October. You were gone. I interviewed the porn stars.
Oh, the porn stars.
Yes.
Yeah, you had
and
fun
what happens in the studio stays in the studio.
Okay,
Speaking of Al again, nice shot of Al. Again, he brings the wine. Just like Nathan does on Cheers.
See? I love Al T.
Al T. Perkins. And yes, Dixie Flatline's bringing in. Oh, and speaking of, there's Michelle. This is talking about thank you.
Thank you so very much.
The audience has no idea what's going on.
Okay.
We have multiple drinks going.
We have multiple cocktails today, okay?
But this is an example of how we've gotten involved with the community. Cheers helped to sponsor, and QTalk helped to sponsor the HRC Phoenix first event, Cook Phoenix, which was November of last year, and we were helping to set up and so forth. And Michelle and Nathan were the MCs for the event. They did a fantastic job. So there they are at the HRC event. And so, we've just done so much stuff. Oh, speaking of HRC, I can't remember if she's HRC. Here's Kathy Young at the old studio working on the agenda.
Right.
And doing her thing.
And I have to give a shout out to Kathy, because they just got married.
You're right. I was about to forget that. They just got married in New York City.
Married in
Congratulations
New York City.
to Kathy and Jess.
Yes, I was like, I didn't know that they were planning that. And when I saw it on Facebook, I was like, that is so cool. They've had a good year, and I'm really happy for them.
And here's Ophelia Buns being part of... what? Oh, Clayton wanted to do the FaceTime. Well, we can try it, Clayton. I just can't guarantee if it'll actually stream, but we can try it. Anyways, Clayton, you're listening live, so just go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try to FaceTime. We'll see if it'll actually mirror it across to the Apple TV. So, Ophelia Buns, this was when she was actually on What's the Tea, and now, of course, she's on Neighborhood Friends on Monday nights at 7. In fact, we have a little hello from her. I just want to do one other show or one other little thing. This was from our 100th anniversary, our 100th show in December. We're skipping ahead.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
and you haven't really had anything,
That's
okay?
right. And this is Gene Moore, one half of Gene Moore and Ernesto Ortiz. We're going to be on later today with Working It Out at 4.
And that's my girlfriend right there that I've told my wife all about because she's just like, I just love her.
And it was Rachel.
Yes, Rachel Evans.
And they're going to be part of, just to show you also, Working It Out is going to be part of the annual event coming up next weekend, actually called Pride 48. It's a 48-hour LGBT podcasting marathon. And so you can check out more information on their show. But they'll be live on QTalk. They're also going to be live on Pride 48. For more information on that kind of stuff, go to pride48.com. I think that mostly does it for because we could keep going and going.
You need to go back to our original shot of you and I. Where's that shot in your living room 3 years ago? Where is it? Pull it up. There we go. Look at there. Look at there. Us, okay.
And look at us now.
Applause. Let's get an applause sound. Give me your applause sound. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
And here we are.
And here we are today. Right here. Look at that.
That was a nice transition.
That was nice. Look at that.
And we can do that again. Ding, ding, ding. And well, you know, at the end of the day, we're not just applauding for ourselves. Obviously, this is, you know, we have great fun on this show. We have the guests on this show that we want to talk to. We talk about the things we want to talk to. And we kind of give you the updates and the lowdown of what the hell else is going on around the network. You know what I mean? And it's just great to have such support from everybody. Let's actually play this. I'm assuming this is going to work.
From Ophelia?
From Ophelia, yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second, and let's see if this will work, actually.
Yep. And then we'll see if we can FaceTime with Clayton before we head off the air. This has been a great show today and good celebration. There we go.
Hi everyone, this is Ophelia Buns with Neighborhood Friends on Monday night at 7 p.m. I just wanted to say happy third anniversary to QTalk America, and hopefully you have many, many more successful years. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
See, that was sweet.
That was great.
Yeah.
All
cool.
these little bits of things, and hey, it's actually working. So we didn't get to talk to Randall White, but we do want to remind you about the coverage coming up, and you'll just, you know, tune in to all the different feeds in terms of Facebook and Twitter and all the different things for when we've got something coming up the day of course, that they make the announcement. Tune in to QTalk America. It's kind of cool to say, tune in to QTalk America for live all-day coverage of the Supreme Court decisions that will be affecting marriage equality. We don't know what way it's going to go. And we don't know if they're going to do it partially or fully or whatever they're going to do. But whatever they decide,
some decision
you'll hear about it here on QTalk America, the CNN of the gay community.
Right. So we aren't going to be back on the air for a bit.
We won't. Nope.
With our summer schedule. And a lot of the other changes and things that are going on around the network. But we'll be back on what date?
I don't know. I didn't know if we decided the actual Saturday, but it should be mid-July. Actually, It won't be the day that I'm moving, so it'll probably be July 20th, maybe the weekend of the 20th
probably about
or
right.
so.
Yep.
We're going to have someone on. In fact, let's talk about that. We'll bring him up on the screen right now.
Is Ronnie going to join us then?
Who?
Ronnie.
I don't know if Ronnie was supposed to join us today. If he can't join us, then we can get him in August. We're also trying to work with a professor from the Honors College at ASU, and his name is Dr. Patrick Grzanka, and he does a lot of these interesting studies on LGBT issues, on various gender identity issues and whatever. And he's recently gotten another grant to do some additional research, and he's been working also, I think, either working on or he's recently released a book. So we're hopefully going to get to talk to him perhaps in the studio and his partner. And they have a long-distance relationship, and I'm almost interested in talking to him about that as well, because they have a long-distance relationship across the country and how that kind of works for them. So hopefully we'll have that in July here on Joe and Babe. We've just got a few minutes left, literally, and if we didn't say it already, obviously we want to thank everyone for their support, everyone for their shout-outs and their hellos and so forth. And we want to remind you, of course, if you're listening live or watching live, we've got Technobabble coming up in about a half an hour, and in 2 hours from now, we have Ernesto and Jean with Working It Out. They call it a funny waste of time, and I would say so. They also have their Straight Nate, and Eric Carroll, their technical producer, who also produces Neighborhood Friends on Mondays.
Right. We were all out together the other night at The Rock, and it was a lot of fun. They were there, and I was there for an event fundraiser, and it was pretty cool. You know, seeing people from the network outside of the studio. Mm-hmm. It was a nice activity.
It is.
Yeah.
Ophelia asked me to plug this, and we'll since we won't be on again until next month. Mike Ruiz, world-renowned photographer, director, video producer, and gay guy, is going to be on their show. Oh. And that's a coup. Like, they are super excited. I know about Mike Ruiz, but I don't know as much as they do. And that's a huge coup to get him on the show. He'll probably be on through Skype, and we have solved our issues with video Skype, thankfully. So he'll be on the 24th, which is a Monday of June. So that is fantastic. And let's see, we did Pride 48.
Right. We want everybody to remember that you can check out our schedule and find out when we're on, because we are on 24/7.
That's right. The network is.
The network itself. So go to QTalk America.
Did you say QCock?
Okay, it was.
She was thinking about those condoms.
Okay, it's like, is that just weird? I said it, didn't I?
You did.
No. No. Okay, anyway, and I'm going to just take this quickly to a conversation I had with someone yesterday.
Okay.
About lesbians and boys and penises. And that's all I'm going to say. And those who know. Okay? Yeah, those who know. That's all I'm going to say. Cato, Stacey J., Jimmy Munoz Jr. Okay, remember that conversation. That's all I'm going to go with. Anyway, it's been a great day today, sweetie. I really enjoyed it. Great show.
So did I. If I press the right button, we can actually get music.
Okay, try it.
One of these days, we'll figure this out.
Okay.
We'll stop changing all the technology, and then we can figure it out. There's the background music. Hopefully, it should be in the right area. There we go. So it's been a great, fast show, of course, when we try to cover so many topics.
I know, but we do it, and we do it well.
Thank you to everyone for listening live or listening and watching at home at whatever point you are. And remember that we are the world's #1 LGBT talk media network. That means all the different forms of media, and we are doing it, and we're also co-opting with many different partners.
Doing it well.
Partners and affiliates and syndicates all around the world. Thank you for being part of QTalk America. Thank you for Dixie Flatline and et al. In the Studio A. She's waving through the window.
Okay.
And I
you.
think that's about it. We'll talk to you next month. I'm Joe DeGanzik.
And I'm Babe Kaler.
And this has been the Joe and Babe Show. We will talk to you next month.